What's up, Libby?
Welcome to 2023. Oh my
Oh my gosh.
gosh.
2023, episode 105. Do you want to go with me into 2023?
I so do. I
Do
so do.
you?
After 2022, I'm just even more excited for 2023.
I feel like we're in it to win it, girl.
Yes.
Like across the board.
Hmm.
I am so excited. Y'all, we have things to talk to you about that we're going to add. So hang on. We're we're going to be telling you our additions. At the end, we're going to talk about at the end. I should have ended that. Sometimes I talk and my sentences just run on, y'all. And sometimes I talk like a dolphin, I found out today. If you
If
haven't,
you haven't seen that reel, go over to our social media for consignment chats and check it out, because I was literally in the car driving, listening to one of our podcast episodes, and Molly made this dolphin sound at the end. I almost had to pull over because I was laughing so hard. I was crying, and I couldn't let her know because I wanted to surprise her with the reel.
yes, so I get a text on my phone saying something like, please still love me. Please tell me you still love me. And I'm like, what? And I go on social media and it's literally a 2-second reel of me talking like a dolphin, laughing, making a dolphin noise. I girl, listen, I grew up in the low country of South Carolina on the beach. Of course I speak dolphin. I went to Hilton Head Prep. What were we? The Mighty Dolphins. Of course I
Oh, you
speak
were?
dolphin. We were the Dolphins, yes.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yep, we were the Dolphins. So of course I speak dolphin. Come
I'm
on,
just
man.
crying just even thinking about it. It just cracked me up, like, which has me, one of the best parts of 2022 is laughter. How much fun we have when we are working and recording, and how important laughter and joy is
So
in
important.
business, in life, in everything.
And I think you all know by our edition of the our mental health series that I think it's important for everybody, but it's even more important for us resellers, especially those of us that work home alone, to make sure you find that laughter day in and day out, because it's a little harder for us when we're home by ourselves in the throes of work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's a
don't know
good
if
thing. It's a good thing I crack myself up.
right? I crack myself up. Yeah, I think that's why I'm such a goofball all the time. I always laugh. I'm like, we have Libby. She can tell you all the serious business in, and then there's me. Keeping it real, y'all. Keeping it real.
Were you channeling your dolphin there?
She's like, I hope you don't mind. I'm like, I'm always the one making a jackass of myself, and that's okay. What do I say? What's my biggest soapbox? You got to be you.
You gotta be you.
You got to
You
be
gotta be
you.
you.
And this is me. I get goofy and you either like it or you don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, 2003, I am like really excited for where we can go and what we can do. And one of the things, y'all, that Libby and I talked about was a lot of times you go back and you look at the beginning. And I'm not recommending y'all do this. Let's not go there. But just kidding. You can go back and watch. But when we started this, we were such babies.
Mm-hmm.
And what we did in our beginning, it was good information, right? I mean, it was true to what
Yeah.
was going on then. But not only have we grown and changed, but that information has grown and changed.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought, what better way to come into 2023 than to revisit some of those initial early C chats topics?
Yep.
Do an updated version of them this year.
Yep.
So that is something I think is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm really just excited. I'm excited for it. Yeah.
So does this mean, Libby, that you and I have to listen to the original episode the week
Yes.
that we're doing the new
Yeah.
episode,
Yes.
hear ourselves back on episode 2? I mean, episode 2, top 5 pros of consignment. Like, I
You know,
wonder if
that's one
that's
of
changed.
our top episodes to date. Yeah.
I wonder if that has changed. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to see how much that's changed. If it
Yeah.
has changed, then maybe
Maybe
it
it
hasn't
hasn't.
changed that much.
Yeah, maybe it hasn't. So I just think that's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope that our sea chatters, our fans, that's right, our fans, um, enjoy that and get something out of that. And I always love comments if we forget something. And if there's
Yeah,
something,
and I mean, we've got so much input from the C Chats community in the past couple years that we'll be incorporating a lot of what we've learned from you in our updates.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I
100%.
mean, that's amazing.
Something else I'm excited about for 2023 is doing what we did with eBay Open, Boss Reseller Remix, going and actually meeting people in person.
Hmm.
I am that much more excited to schedule out our spotlights this year
Mm-hmm.
because we have more people to spotlight, and some of them are uber entertaining. Some of them are uber vessels of knowledge. I mean, we have a
Mm-hmm.
good list to reach out and schedule.
Yes, we do. Yes,
It's
we
going to be
do.
like superstar. And of course, we'll have some of our oldies but goodies back because we just always have our OGs that are
They're
in it
just
to win it.
they're just part of C Chats, and that's
Yeah.
just the way it is. And
Yep.
of course, we'll be continuing with Samantha and Samantha Speaks monthly. Uh,
Yes.
Doing some more collaborations with Samantha as the year progresses. Like we just added our listing party. Samantha is a co-host of that now, sorting with Samantha. So we do that weekly on listingparty.com. Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say, if you're not familiar with Listing Party, it's a part of List Perfectly. And it is listingparty.com, as Libby said. And there are people host listing parties, and you come together and you can put your face up there if you want. You can have your volume on if you want, or you can just hide yourself and be in the chat. But it's just a lot of fun. We've gotten to know a lot of really great people, and it's been nice because again, with everything we do, we've learned some things and we've been able to
Yeah.
help inform some people who are interested in starting consignment and give them some starting tips.
Because it is our mission to make sure every reseller is consignment ready. We're coming for you. We're coming for you.
You can't hide. No, 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 no,
You
no.
don't ever have to take a consignment, but you do have to be ready.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you need to be ready. The other thing that I think I probably promised many times during 2022 and it just never came to fruition. I could sit here and give you a list of excuses as to why, but I'm just going to own it. I just didn't get it done.
What?
But I promise you that 2023 is going to come with C Chat swag.
Oh, yeah.
There will be C Chat swag, and you
I
will
guess I wasn't missing it as much since last year you got me a C Chats
I did
t-shirt.
do a sample
So,
T-shirt for your gift. Yes,
yeah.
yes. Which I took from you and wore at Boss Reseller Remix because I didn't order myself one. So that is coming in 2023. In fact, it is coming in early 2023, people.
Ooh.
Early
Yeah.
2023. I want to say that I'm excited because there are some fun, just our logo. There are some with some of the sayings we say. And we actually have one that's got one of our sea chatters quoted on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's going to be some fun stuff. So just be ready for that. That'll come out in early 2023. What else do we have, Libby, as we
Oh,
go into 2023?
oh, just a great attitude.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Carrying forward that positivity. You know what? I did a post on social media at the end of 2022. Or
Okay.
no, it was the very beginning. I think it might have been on New Year's Day.
Okay.
And so we had all these goals and resolutions, and we went through all that and we kind of set our own personal word of intention. But what really matters is the action. When I was a teenager, I got this in a fortune cookie and I never forgot it. And it said, "Hell is paved with good intentions." All right, so you have your intention, but turning that into action and, helping your fellow sea chatters, helping your fellow resellers, put that intention into action, whether it's bringing on a new consignment client, whether it's trying something, whatever your goal is, let's make sure we're turning that into action. And we're going to take you on the road as we turn some of our intentions into action.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Tell me your word of intention? We talked about that and asked people words of intention.
Yes. So, all right, I'm going to start by saying my last year was persevere. And at the end of 2022, I finally learned how to spell it correctly because I always spell check was always, but anyway, yeah, so that was my word of intention for 2022. And it really drove me because I have it here on my wall. And when I was having a weak moment, I just thought, all right, just power through, just persevere. Going into 2023, I thought my word was going to be consistent because I'm not a habitual person. I don't consider myself consistent.
You don't, right?
So when I said this to my children, we talk every year about the best, the worst, what we're looking forward to, what our word of intention for the year is. I said consistent. And they were like, what? You are the most consistent person we know. What do you mean your word is consistent? That doesn't even make sense, Mom.
Isn't it funny how we look at ourselves so differently than others see us?
Yeah. And I thought, yeah, maybe that doesn't really, I mean, I don't consider myself consistent, but maybe that doesn't really need to be my intention for the year because my actions are consistent. Whether or not I consider myself a habitual, consistent my actions are consistent. My kids confirm that for me.
There seems to be some inconsistency in your consistency, or at least your thought of your consistency.
Funny because I'm being very inconsistent with my word of intention. So maybe, consistent just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me all across the board.
Okay.
So I changed it to embrace.
I like it.
Yes, because I have a lot of change coming this year. I'll be moving. My youngest son will be off to college. There's just going to be a lot of change, and I need to really embrace that and for what it is and these changes in my life. And the other thing I'm embracing is being more myself and unapologetic and just embracing who I am instead of trying to fit in. I feel like for my whole life, and not that it's going to turn into like anything, but for my whole life, I've been trying to fit into a mold that is very uncomfortable for me.
You be
And
you.
I'm really going to embrace who I am, what I want to do, what makes me happy. And I'm going to embrace that instead of trying to change it. So there we have it. Embrace.
My whole feeling is you can only be your best when you're you.
Yeah.
Can't be your best when you're trying to be somebody else because that is not why you were put on this earth.
Yeah.
You're you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like I am me, but I also feel like I try really hard. Like I've always had that. This is turning into a Get Real episode, but
oh my gosh, isn't it? Speaking of which, those will continue this year.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that maybe we're gonna do that in a Get Real episode. All right. So I'm gonna table that and I'll tell you guys in a Get Real episode why that is my word and what it means to me.
So I've been back and forth on mine, and maybe I should save it for a Get Real.
But we need to know what it is.
Because mine feels selfish, but it's not in a selfish manner. But I want it to be me. Because I need to put me at the top of my list. And in me, I mean my health, mentally and physically. That I can't do and be successful at everything else when I'm not focusing on that. And I have really lost focus on that this year, badly. So I don't like that word. It's not a pretty word. It's not one I want Emma to cut out on her Cricut and me put it on my wall. Me. But it's what I know I need to do. And in order to make it to those other beautiful words that are in my mind that I need. But when I think of those words, I can't get them until I do that other step.
Whew, that's deep. Yeah, we're definitely doing an episode. We're definitely doing a little Get Real mini-sode on that. I'm telling you.
All
We got to
right. All
dig
right.
deeper on that.
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we would love y'all put in the comments below, please, if you have set yourself a word of intention and you're not in our group and haven't shared it in our private group, which if you're not, I don't know why. I don't know what you're waiting on. I don't get that. But if you're not, we'd still love to hear from you right here. And we'd love for you to put in the comments what your word for the year is. Clearly, it can be anything because I chose me.
So I have to say, we talked about this in the community, and the one that really hit me went back to so many things we've done in the community. It was one of our newer members. I didn't get permission, so I won't reuse her name, but
Okay.
give us a shout out if you want a shout out, new member.
Yes.
She said hers was going to be celebrate.
I like that.
Right. And I was like, oh, that goes back to our book club where we did Christy Wright's Take Back Your Time. Just about, you remember that thing she did at the conference where she said women have a really hard time saying what they're proud of. And I think
Yeah.
celebrate kind of ties into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
100%.
my son and I were actually also talking about that as a word, celebrate, and how my daughter said she doesn't have this problem. She celebrates herself. Uh,
You go, Emma.
but my son and I are very, very similar. We have that like kind of entrepreneurial mindset. Uh, that's just the way we are. And I think with that mindset, a lot of times comes, we don't stop and celebrate because we're so worried about fixing the next problem, changing the next process. What's our next goal? Like we're so goal oriented, forward oriented that we never stop and think and celebrate.
And I think there's a second side to that. I think
Yeah.
there's a second side. I think we also don't celebrate because a lot of times we don't look at those things as worthy personally for a celebration. When the small things that you think are small are worthy of celebration. But I think specifically, not to leave you male gender out there out because you probably do this to yourself too, but I feel like it's a predominant female thing to not celebrate and not look at it as worthy of celebration.
Yeah, I'll never forget that video Christy Wright did of women, these uber successful women sitting in a circle and asked what they were most proud of. And they were all, these are really accomplished people, and they couldn't
do it. They were uncomfortable.
Struggled. That really impacted me. That really.
Yeah. And that's how we are. We're the first to criticize and beat ourselves down and the last to celebrate the victories.
Yeah. So I think we need to do a lot more celebrating this year. Yes.
And sometimes that celebration is I put my feet on the floor and got out of bed. Like that celebration can be anything. To me, there have been days where that celebration could be I got out of bed because there were a couple where I just didn't want to, yeah. Wow. We're getting so deep in this. Those are like,
whoa.
What are you looking for in 2023? Therapy. Therapy is what we're looking for, clearly. There's one other, oh gosh, what was the other thing I wanted to talk about for 2023? We're going to change up our episodes a little.
Oh, we're going to do the monthly. We're going to talk about monthly. You didn't say that yet, did you?
No.
All right. Well, let's have at it.
That's my favorite. Are you ready? Let's do it. We are going to add at the end of the month a monthly recap. And what will we be recapping, Libby?
Kind of what sold for the month, what our big wins were, maybe some crazy mistake we made, a loss, so you guys can avoid the stupid mistakes we make.
Yeah.
And just an overall view of what it's like in the day-to-day business, and maybe little tips and tricks that'll help you, trends we're seeing in our business, just a little check-in. So you can see what's kind of going on behind the scenes. I know we do a lot of high level overview, mission statements, things like that, but we're going to get a little into the details because we know it's what you guys want because we get the questions all the time.
No, I know. And
Yeah.
there's so many things that I learned from others with that. And then I do it myself and I don't share. And I'm like, I should have shared that. Like I had no, I mean, just even the things that are like the bolos, the be on the lookout for this item
Mm-hmm.
because I knew nothing about it. In fact, I was watching Harry Tornado's videos last night and his wife found something and she had no idea what it was. And the whole time I'm going, oh my gosh, put it in your bag. Put it in your bag. I know what it's going to sell. And she's like, I don't know. It's kind of like and she did put it in her bag, thank goodness. And at the end realized, oh my gosh, this is of good value. And it was a bog bag, which is very big down south. I don't know if you have bog bags up there.
I never even heard of a bog bag. See,
They
that's
are,
why we need to do this.
well, she said it was like a crock, and they are like that crock rubber, but they're bags, like totes that are square, and they have holes, and you can put the giblets in it, the little decorations in it, and
Yeah.
great beach bags. People love them, and they're pricey. So she found one at the Goodwill bins and was excited to see it would sell for about $60, and it was one of the smaller ones. I mean, they have jumbo ones too. But
Wow.
you learn from people with that. And I do a lot of, when I source, not consign, I do a lot of mine by touch, just by feeling like I know quality. And I'll look at
Mm-hmm.
something and go, I have no clue what that is, but it's quality. And sometimes that turns out to be amazing. And don't I want to share that with everybody? Because somebody else might run into it that didn't know, right?
Yeah, it's fascinating.
And then sometimes it might be a wah, wah, wah.
A spaghetti poodle.
And I really need to share that one with everybody because I don't want you to go grab the wah, wah, wah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a couple of those. And so I love learning from others. So we're going to do a little more of that in those episodes where we can tell you all of our goodies and some of our uh-ohs and yeah, how the month went in our sales, what's not selling for us, what's hot at the
Yeah.
moment. I like it.
Oh, that's going to be fun because I never get to talk about that with anyone. I just continue on my day to day selling, making
Ah,
mistakes.
that's our end of the month. We're going to do it.
All right.
We're in it to win it, girlfriend. That's what my friend
We
Lauren says
sure
all the time. We're
are.
in
All
it
right. So
to win it.
2023, we are embracing the C Chats community. We're coming for it, guys, whether you want it or not. No, just kidding.
Right now, I'm seeing these little scattering things. Run.
Molly's the hugger, not me. That should be your word. Maybe next year you could take my word and I'll swap mine out for something else.
I am such a hugger. And COVID was a killer for me, man.
Yeah.
I got the hug.
Meanwhile, I was all like, "Oh yeah, I don't have to touch anybody."
This is my kind of time.
Just kidding. All right, so go ahead.
I was just going to say, I know that you got something good in a feedback that we can share.
Yeah, so Apple Podcast, if you could review us on Apple Podcasts, we absolutely love that. We got a great review from one of our sea chatters, he's in the community and he has an amazing story. If you hop over there, it's Santee Swapper and he does some Boy Scout stuff. I should say he does a lot of Boy Scout memorabilia and everything.
All right.
He's in Charlotte, which is one of our favorite cities. I'm going to be there next. I'm going to be there on Friday, actually.
Yes.
Yep, dropping my daughter off at school. Both of our kids go to Charlotte. So
Yep.
If you didn't know that, there get little Sea Chats trivia.
Now our kids go to school together in Charlotte.
Yep.
Wasn't planned.
No. But it worked out great. All right. So anyway, he left us this awesome feedback. Thank you very much. It says, such a fun journey to follow. I don't know if there is another co-hosted show that works the way this does. These resellers finish each other's sentences, have so much passion for their community. I'm an eBay seller and really enjoy their interviews and the way they come up with new topics and themes. Keep it up, ladies.
Aww.
Isn't that so nice? I really want to thank you for taking the time to do that because it helps us in so many ways, as well as emotionally.
Yes.
Let's going.
It's like filling our tank when you do that.
Yeah.
It gives us real moments to celebrate and
Oh
know that
yeah, celebrate. There's our first
we're
celebration.
celebrating that moment, because otherwise we don't see that. And when we hear it from y'all, it's like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We got this.
Agreed. All
Love
right.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, y'all. So as Libby said, leave us the feedback. Give us the comments down below on your word for the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have any other ideas of things you'd like to make sure we touch on this year, please. We are always up for topics that you want to know more about. We have our own list of topics, but we don't know everything that y'all want to know. So feel free to throw some questions out and some ideas for us to discuss.
Yeah. All right.
And subscribe and like and all that good stuff, because as silly as it may seem to you, it really does help us.
Yes. And you will know if you hit that little bell when we are going live, when we drop a new episode, all of that good stuff, because we do sneak a couple of the Get Real ones in there. Because when we are talking about mental health issues, reseller mental health, they are not planned, scheduled episodes. So you want to know.
Yeah,
Or maybe
you don't
you
want to miss
don't. I
that.
don't know. But if you do, hit the bell.
Maybe you don't want to know. I don't know. All right. Hey,
All right.
Lib,
Yeah.
until next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining Libby and Molly, the ladies of Consignment Chats. To find out more and keep chatting, find Consignment Chats on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and podcast. As always, you can find all of this information at consignmentchats.com. Thanks for joining us.